What's up? What's up? What's up? You know me, I'm always about it's never, ever, ever too late to talk about something that can benefit a person. And I want to talk about real estate. Since I was little, I've always heard people talking about real estate, real estate, real estate. I want something that they're not making any more of. It's so rare. We can make so much money in it. But then I saw a bubble burst. And then I saw all types of other things happen when it came to real estate. And I was like, man, I wish I could understand it. And guess what? I finally met somebody who can explain it to children. Every time I want to learn something, I want to learn something from a child. Yes, I um I want to immediately find out what you know this thing is going on, because if you can teach children, that's what I want. I'm sure that you can show me all. And so this weekend, I have had the pleasure of rocking with one of the best. They call her the LA super agent in her, you know what I'm saying, in her oneness, absolutely. And I want to welcome the LA super agent herself, Lisa Puerto, to the Coach Khayr show tonight so we can all get a better understanding of real estate. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Coach. Thanks for having me on. I'm so stoked.
Hey,
I keep
thank
doing
you,
this
thank
because
you,
I'm
thank you.
feeling it. I'm feeling this fresh cut. So,
You got you got fresh today. You all the way in Atlanta, and
yeah,
you got fresh. Had to go all the way across. Had to go 3,000 miles for a haircut.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I'll put my glasses on because I know how the fam in here is really engaged with questions and comments and response. So make sure I put my glasses on so I can see.
Well, we're doing this late night, so a couple of people may not be still looking at their coins like we are and studying, getting the bag, but so they may have to catch the replay tomorrow. But that's okay. We're doing it for my YouTubers, my Facebook folks, Instagram, wherever they could be. From Hollywood to Holland, it don't matter. We want to have a better
Mm-hmm.
understanding of real estate. So, one of the big things for me is I want I don't really like adults. I don't like adults because adults are always messing stuff up all the time. But I love when it comes to children that let's get to the point and teach the babies better so they can do better and have better than what we had coming up. So that's why I wanted to do this quick show tonight. Keep you on here for about 10 or 15 minutes and just get straight to the point about understanding real estate. So I'm
Okay.
gonna just tell a little story, and I'm gonna let you jump in. Um, but first, tell us how you got into real estate first, who you are, and who the hell is LA Super Agent? How'd that happen?
So I got into real estate. I would think I preface this movement in Real Estate 100 really that we're all having a real estate experience, every single one of us. And this is why this is huge for me because as children, we don't understand that we are having a real estate experience and that we don't know the terms and concepts in which we're experiencing every single day from the moment we open our eyes to the moment we're laid to rest. It's real estate everywhere. So for me, in terms of the tangible aspect of real estate, my family's not native to this country. They are from Belize, Central America. So I'm first generation here. And my first real estate experience with my family was when I was 11. And being a family that's not from this country, oftentimes you'll see anywhere from 10 to 14 people that will implant in a home as everyone's trying to springboard into building their life and growing. And so when I say home, for us, that was a one bedroom apartment in a 4 unit complex in East LA. So
Mm.
that was off of 49th and San Pedro, like real hood. But it's all good because that's what we're changing now. At least that's part of the movement is revitalizing the term hood to bringing it back to neighborhood because we're still neighborhood, still community. So that was my first experience in terms of real estate. And as I pursued my academic career, I knew actually, so that was my first real estate experience. And then my family purchased their first home through that. And it was the agent who worked with us. I actually had an honor to gift him a copy of my first book and tell him that he was my first real estate experience. Because I was fascinated to see the potential of actually having my own room, especially again, we rotated. And for those who aren't privy to this information about how I lived prior to just kind of taking off on my own, my family, it was my mother, my younger brother, who we had a bunk bed in what we converted the laundry room into a bedroom, mind you, in a one bedroom apartment. So again, anywhere from six, it was consistently like six of us. But then as family was implanting from outside the country, it was anywhere from 10 to 14 people that would be rotating through that space. So again, when I had the opportunity to see what was possible, I was extremely excited. And I bring my mother on to part of the workshops for her to share her story because to this day, they actually, grandma still has what we call an adjustable rate mortgage on that property, which most people, when they hear ARM or they hear that type of loan, they get extremely spooked out because that was one of the loan products that contributed to the housing crises. But I like for my mother and my grandmother to share that story because it was designed for people who are self-employed independent contractors or have income that fluctuates throughout the year. So it was a really good product for them. It's not a product for everyone. So I just wanted to throw that in there because most people have this negative connotation on ARM, but actually in a couple months that's going to be paid off in a few. And my grandmother's been winning with that note. And I just knew that I just wanted to do real estate actually. That was annoying from when I was 11. And I got licensed the same year I graduated from college. And I owed no money and I had no money. I had a degree, I had a degree, I had no money, but I owed no money. And I knew I still wanted to do real estate. And so it was just getting my feet wet and jumping in. And I've been in 12 years in and seen it crash and see it come back up. And that's where we are now. So,
But where did the super agent piece come from?
great question. So, Super Agent actually was born out of the housing crisis. So, when it crashed, one of the things that I wanted to do, especially seeing that our communities were hard hit during that time, and the financial crisis, and what I say right now is facts. It is known as the largest white collar crime in history that steered Black and Brown communities across the country into subprime loan products that a lot of them actually were eligible for standard and at par rate products. But what we got to see is that our country, our society still segregates communities. And that's what we exhibited. So one of the things that I saw through my consultation was I was constantly dispelling, I was constantly dealing with the psyche and the trauma from that. And my consultations would take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, where I was really trying to break down essentially what you do, coach, break down those barriers, break down those walls of what people were experiencing in terms of I don't want to lose my house. I saw what grandma went through. I saw what auntie went through. I saw what my uncle went through. They lost their home. They lost this. They lost that. And so now what I saw happening is people were operating from fear. And because I saw that this industry is saturated with real estate professionals in all aspects of it, I asked myself, how do I distinguish myself from being someone who is genuine? I authentically want to help. I authentically want to support, and I want to operate from a place of integrity. How do I do that when my brand has been pulled in with the rest of the country that partook in the crises that contributed to destroying families and communities? How do I
Well, so
distinguish
wait,
myself?
so you're saying that professionals, because you used the word professionals, and I'm assuming that they were all licensed. They were these professionals who were licensed were operating without integrity. Is that what you're alluding to? Was that what was some of that going on?
That is some of what is going on. That is some of what happened, and we see it in all aspects of the industry. So, how do we distinguish ourselves, which is why branding, right, is very important and significant because, again, you're wanting to distinguish yourself. And I'm being intentional when I use that word distinguish in terms of saying different. Because, yes, I still am a licensed professional, but I'm distinguishing myself in an industry where every year, every 5 years, we're going to lose about 80% of people are going to leave the market, and we're going to gain another 80% that are going to come back into the market. So it's constantly recycling itself like that. So as you see that turnover again, and this is kind of what we're talking about in terms of distinguishing yourself, branding yourself. What are you operating from? Why are you in this business? And that's really key in terms of what Super Agent is about. So Super Agent realized that adults kind of are going through all kinds of things. So I said, if we want to go through recovering and being a solution, we've got to teach the next. And for me, that's the next generation. That's the youth. And so Super Agent came to me as a download. And then as a download, I had a designer create a cartoon. So Super Agent became a cartoon that I use as part of my brand. And through that, I decided to lead this mission or this movement we call Real Estate 100 into educating the youth.
Okay. So today we were at the barbershop and I was introducing you and saying, yo, she's got a book for kids on real estate. And the first thing they said was, yo, you need an adult class for on real estate because the adults who got the money and the good or bad credit don't even know what the hell they're doing. So I wanted to get into, breaking it down from high level to eye level, how you would explain it like you did in your book when you were explaining, Real Estate 100, the Teen and Millennial Investment Blueprint. Y'all need to go over there and jump on this immediately. This is my signed autograph copy. So if you need yours, what website can they go to get Real Estate 100?
Realestate100.net.
There we go. So if y'all want to get a copy of this book, which you should immediately, you should go get realestate100.net. You can also find Lisa on YouTube. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on Twitter, all at LA Super Agent. Or if you look up under the hashtag Ready Set Real Estate or LA Super Agent, you will have no problem finding her. She is everywhere. So you need to contact her for a wealth conference like she just did in Atlanta, or like she's about to do in San Diego, or like she's about to do in Vegas. Then you need to hurry up and get in contact with her because that's what she does. But in a nutshell, like when you're teaching, let's say you were teaching some adults like myself, what are some of the things that we need to understand? Because I want the bigger picture. I like how you explain it, that it's not just about houses and buyers and sellers. I had a friend that said, man, is there any jobs, any construction jobs down in Atlanta? And I said, well, what type of construction do you do? He said, I do glass work. And I said, well, you can't build a building without glass. And you said,
He's in real
that's real
estate.
estate. He's in real estate. So I said, wait a minute. He's not licensed, he's just a construction worker who does glass. And you said, yeah, but he's still in real estate. And then you said, everybody is in real estate. What do you mean when you say everybody is in real estate?
So, one of the things that I like to articulate for the youth at the conferences and the workshops, and And this is pretty bonus. We giving away gems, coach. You know, everybody was shifting the mind. Most most people aren't ready for understanding real estate in terms of the concept that I'm teaching it, and that's why it makes Real Estate 100 a signature workshop. The youth out here got to really get loved on, and a lot of their words like buying, purchasing power got elevated. So real estate, in the way I explain it to them, is I walk through an activity with them, and really anyone, from the moment you open your eyes, if you're blessed and fortunate to be in a space, you're oftentimes in a residential or commercial piece of real estate. When you walk outside and you either have to put gas in your car, that's commercial real estate. Or when you have to go grocery shopping, that's commercial real estate. When the kids go to school, if they're not homeschooled, they're going to a building, that's commercial real estate. When where your food is coming from, that's agricultural real estate. The car that you're driving and the things that are manufacturing, that's industrial real estate or manufacturing real estate. And the reason I could say that is because those are actually zones of the land. The zones either have an R code, A code, C code, M code, I code, or Y code. Those are
What?
all aspects of real estate because they're zoning the land for real estate.
What? Oh, and because every time you want to do something, one of the first questions that comes up is, what zone is it in? Is it zoned for that? I want to
Right.
put an airplane landing strip behind my house. Is it zoned for that?
Is it
I
zoned for
want to
that?
have I want to have a I think my mother wanted to put a group home in a house one time, and they was like, "Yeah, but is it zoned for that?" And I was like, "Yo, we in the country. We used to farm agriculture." It was like, "Right, so you're not zoned for that."
Right,
And I
those are
was like,
A1s. Agriculture is A1 zoning or A2 and so forth, depending on how large the lot is. But that's, yeah, you're right.
mm,
So yes,
"That's
that's what they get to learn and experience, and those are things that the greater than me, the greater than the word, greater than the concept is that everything is real estate. Part of technique that we do, we talk about the I am real estate. The I am real estate is that you are real estate, and the most infinite and the abundant real estate comes from the mind, which is why I also do the Shift Your Thinking show, because regardless of what I teach you, coach, about credit, your finances, or banking, or loans, APR, or cash on cash return on investments, inspections, contingencies, negotiating, every single thing I can pour into you. But if your real estate mind is not set, I cannot help you. I won't be useful to you.
And that's what we talked about today too. If you want to remain youthful, you need to be useful. Absolutely. Big shouts out to Getting Ahead Barbershop on Campbellton Road in Atlanta, Georgia. 1985 Campbellton Road, boy, we had a session in that bad boy today. If you want to
Right.
stay youthful, you're going to have to stay useful. So, I mean, like, when you say the I am principle, that means that I'm realizing, let me see if I got this right, that my mind, to understand real estate, I have to realize that my mind is the number one piece of property that I need to be investing in, because they're always saying, "Oh, we can really we invest in real estate and then it never depreciates." So you're saying if I invest in my mind first, I'm investing in my particular real estate. So that means the books I read, the meditations that I do, the water that I drink, the way that I keep away from negative energy, getting enough sleep and taking naps, stuff like that, watching good things and only letting my eyes focus on good stuff. You're saying that that's the prime, like that's the foundation of real estate? Is that a mental real estate or
Absolutely.
that really real estate?
That's the foundation, and I'll just kind of give you a snippet of how that works. Um, a great way to reword that is called intellectual property.
So when I am, so if I am releasing, so my intellectual property is very similar to an investment property. So like
Right.
it's almost like me having a bed and breakfast. If I, or a hotel, if I have books or if I have services and people are utilizing these services that are a part of my intellectual property, it's just like people are staying in my Marriott hotel or my Wynn Hotel or my Trump Plazas or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that gets expounded. Why? Because we're talking about the infinite real estate. Because in order, why was zoning so important? Because you have to have a
Hmm.
vision of what you're going to put there on the land.
Hmm. Oh, so they had to have an intention. They was just like, you can't just come out here and just get the land and you just ain't got no intentions of it. Like we know we
Right.
only got a certain amount of it, so we gonna allocate it. Tell us what you gonna do with this piece of land.
Right. Which is why I am so fascinated by how many people are wanting to jump into real estate, but they're moving from a herd concept, a gypsy concept, where they're following everybody with doing this flip thing, right? And that's short term, that's not building wealth. And with moving that way, you're not even creating wealth.
This is exactly what I was saying the other day. I'm scrolling through my social media timeline and I got 4 ads for real estate in Atlanta. I'm looking for 10 people to such and such and such and such. Now, you know me as a professional astrologer, shameless plug, coach, www.coachkastrology.info. I'm like, yo, if it's not in your chart, it's not going to be in your heart. So all of
Mm,
you people running and jumping on real estate like it's a quick fix, like, but it's really not you. That's really not your purpose in life. And I said I was frustrated with real estate because there's no gatekeeper. They just let anybody just come in and just be like,
mm,
I'm going to get into real estate, but it wasn't the people rushing in. It's the people already in who are selling these workshops and seminars. Let me show you how to do this. Come on in. I'm going to show you how America's for sale and we're buying it at a discount. Come on in. And they're offering it to people like this is going to solve your problems, but you don't even really know who you really are. Your problems came from you. Real estate ain't going to solve your problem. You knowing who you are and doing what you really love is what's going to bring a solution to whatever your situation is currently. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what I
right.
was getting, ticked off at. I was just like, so you just let anybody come sell real estate, like any monkey from the Philippines or from from Miami or from Atlanta can just stroll through with a banana in his mouth and be like, I want to sell real estate. And as long as they pass the exam, that's it. Like to me, it lacks a lot of it just like you said, it just has to be saturated. But then you just told me that 80% is an 80% turnover ratio every 5 years. Whoa. So that means jokers is getting washed up and washed out. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Because uh, you said it. I'm going to quote you, Kair. They not in a lane. They're not a lane hugger. If this is not your lane, because guess what, coach? Being in real estate, I don't get checks every 2 weeks. Not everybody can handle that. I don't get checks every 30 days.
Mm,
Sometimes it's 90
mm,
days. How many people
mm.
can withstand that? Not too
No,
many.
no, 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 no.
Not
You
too
gotta be
many.
you gotta be real official. You gotta be real official,
You have to
to
be
get out
pretty
there.
knee deep. Yeah, you have to be about this. And I wanted to share and
Mm,
touch on that in terms of what you're saying with people who are selling the workshops and so forth to the people. The reason why I'm finding more and more people, so we're hungry as a people, right? Because we're looking for a solution. And there are some things, some profound things that I've seen out here in Atlanta that gave me the gift of sight. I have had a gift of vision since being here and being in my purpose, right? Writing the first how-to real estate book for the youth in the country, founding the first nonprofit real estate focused organization for youth and young adults. Everything that's attached to what I do is I'm innovating that. I'm creating that. So everybody that follows suit is trying to figure it out. So when I see people are selling, you came on board and you spent $500, $1,000, a $10,000 package to learn real estate. But wait a minute, you have no concept of basics. How you go to calculus? You don't even know how to. You don't know how to add.
What did I tell you today in the barbershop? I said, just like the millennials, y'all real smart on the IT, but you got no fundamentals. Your footwork is shady. When you got shady footwork, ooh, there it is. There it is. Real estate, the basics.
Basics, terms and concepts, because while they telling you to call the agent, get the uh, they'll tell you all these terms. Call the title rep. Find out the NOD and the NSFs and all these terms, and you're like, huh? If you don't understand the inner workings, like why are you calling? What are you doing? If you don't understand that, then you have done yourself a disservice, and that's why I tell folks that if you think the solution is credit repair right now, try again.
No, wait. No. No. Honey. We could do a whole hour on that. Everybody is talking about credit repair right now. Like credit repair is the new sliced bread. And now Here you come, LA super agent, 12 years in the game, not being washed out in the 5-year cycles, are telling me they got to go back and try again. That's not it.
Right. Because guess what? And it's so funny because if he's still on, I got one of my direct lender partners right now that helps our clients for free to fix your credit. So when I look at stuff like that, it's like, who's your network? Who's your network? Because guess what? If we know that the nature of our business is to sell real estate, and if you need some type of financing based on your credit, that means it would behoove us as professionals, right, to help you. Right?
And so, and most of the people who are saying, let me help you fix your credit, aren't even in real estate.
They're not in real estate, no.
But wait a minute, they want to buy the tax properties in Detroit. What about it? Like, does that make me a real? Can I be a super agent if I go to Detroit and get me a house for 500?
See, and that's a whole. There's various ways. There's various ways to get into real estate, and being a licensed professional is one of them. This is why I do the show Ready Set Real Estate, so people can see all aspects of how to get into the industry. There's various programs. There's various ways and opportunities. Again, who's your network? Are you legitimately working with people that know how to do it? This is why I vet the people that come on my show. Not any and everybody gets to be on the platform. I'm vetting to see that this is you authentically in the game. You have produced, this is what you're doing. Why? Because people really need an answer. And when someone is in dire strait and need of an answer, they will do anything. So that makes them vulnerable. So me as super agent, which means my whole brand is what? Saving our communities from housing crisis and foreclosures. I'm going to protect and serve.
Word. You was getting a little passionate right there. You was like, that's my job. Save and protect our communities from these crises. And sound like you trying to save and protect from some of these jackasses out here too. But I didn't say
You said it, I didn't.
but you didn't disagree either. So maybe they're out there. You know, I don't. I know some of them seem to be jackasses in the way that they move. So, what would you say are the first? After they buy Real Estate 101, I mean Real Estate 100, the Teen and Millennial Investment Blueprint. Um, what steps can they take to have a better understanding? Like, do they go to do they go to the Rich Dad Poor Dad course? Do they wait for somebody to come through with a Facebook ad and say come to my workshop conference for 3 days for free? Like, what do they do? What's the step for them to get to understand, like, and especially checking their own value in their own real estate? Like, how? What's the steps, man?
So here, see, and that was an awesome plug too. That's an awesome plug. I say that because in reading the first book, actually, so there's the part one, Real Estate 100, the teen home buying experience, and for even those adults who may hear the title and say, "Well, this book is for kids." The title says such, but we've got to go back to we're babes at new things. Every expert was once a beginner. Every expert was once a beginner. So if you have no concept of real estate, I recommend get the part one. And actually, by the way, can I plug this real quick? By the way, if you visit the website, if you subscribe to the mailer, I'm gifting you a copy of part one as an ebook. So you have it right there. You get a free copy, realestate100.net. Subscribe, go scroll down to the bottom of the page, and it says join our mailer. Plug in your email, and you will get an automated message that says thank you. Here's a copy for staying connected and in touch. And that's my gift to you for just supporting and then saying that you're taking the first step and wanting to learn more. Because what people experience with me, it is an experience. See, I just don't do the selling aspect of it because I'm building the entire you, the entire super you. So you say, what's the next step is a consult. So based on that, you're free to reach out to me because my network expands beyond where I am. I'm in ATL and I'm going in various states, and I've been in various states. So I have connections with people that I'm vetting to be a part of our real estate team, our real estate group. Why? Because it's absolutely important that you said we have checks and balances. You can't just let anybody and everybody come in here. We have to be good stewards. So I know that since I'm in my purpose, I'm in my place, I have to be a good steward of what I've been gifted with. And people are entrusting me.
All
I'm
facts.
being entrusted with this. So with that, that means you can call on me. And what I actually offer is quarterly check-ins. Coach, look at this. I do quarterly check-ins, and I offer this to a lot of the colleges and the conferences that I do because I understand that you know what you do well. And I actually want you to know what you do well. Whatever, if you're on an academic track, you in your master's program, or if you even just saying, I don't even know where to begin, I just need to start over, that's fine. And that's a 15-minute, 20-minute call where I get to, as a consult, initially as a free consult, so that we can build together and we can talk about what the goal is. Because I don't expect you to know immediately. So at some point, which I talk about in the first book, at some point, while I give you the basics, you will actually have to pick up the phone. You will have to send an email or text and schedule a time to have a face-to-face. You have to get connected. And the reason that's important for me is two reasons. One, again, your network is your net worth. But two, do you have your top five?
Top five.
Your top five, coach. Do you have your top five? And people don't understand how significant that is. I share with people, or I ask them, do you have a primary care physician, a PCP? Depending on your medical plan or your health insurance plan, you have to choose a PCP, a doctor that you have to go to every year for your checkup and so forth. Most people can answer that. And most people say, well, I don't have a doctor. I have what is the natural doctors, the homeo. And that's wonderful. Whatever your holistic practices are, that means you do have one person that you go to. The next question I ask is, Who's your tax person? You have a tax advisor, a consultant, an accountant. Who's that person? This is the person you should regularly be seeing, and you shouldn't be seeing this person once a year. You should be checking with this person at least every quarter at minimum, if not every month, depending on your business. Then the other question I ask is, do you have an attorney? Right? Sometimes we don't even think about having an attorney. And that could be a general attorney or a real estate attorney, depending on the level of your business. And when I say business, you have to realize that we all are in business. We're all selling something. So this is what I'm saying about your top 5. And then your financial advisor. This is your financial advisor that will talk to you about the crypto, the stocks, the investments, diversifying. And they will be sharing with you about those things. That was 4. You got to know who's the last one, coach.
That must be me, the strategy officer.
Your strategy, but that'd be top 6. But super agent or your real estate professional, I have to be part of that team.
Damn.
I have to be part of that team. Why? Because didn't I say in the opening, everything around you is real estate?
When you go to the doctor, the building he's in, that's his own property. When you go to your tax people, you know what I'm saying, your money is kept in a bank, you know what I'm saying? Or even if it's on a server, that's in a building, that's real estate. And that's actually, your money is your inventory. And when you run out of inventory, guess what? Deuces, you are out of business.
But, and here's what's profound about that. People say, well, I don't own any real estate, so Lisa, why would I work with you? You will never know when you might become a heir to some real estate, which a lot of our millennials are heirs to.
Right. We say heirs with no H, but you put the whole H on it. You say heirs.
Thank you. See, that's that Creole.
Right. I was like, a hair? You mean an heir, but that's okay. Same thing. It's H-E-I-R, y'all.
That's the Creole. See,
Right.
I just said that for our listening audience and those of you who are catching on the replay. I did mention, if you just joined in, that my family is from Belize, Central America. So sometimes that Creole kick in. So you never know when you are going to inherit something. And guess what? And our elders, we should be part of that conversation and making sure that we're sitting at the table with all those professionals, the top 5. We should be coordinating that. So when I hear people talking about wealth building and generational wealth building, why don't you start right now with grandma and grandpa?
Off the gate. Right.
Do they have a trust? Do they have a living trust? Right? I mentioned the attorney. That's where they come in. Where you're very clear about spelling out who gets what when the person dies or transitions.
We ain't got to give them all the game. You have definitely proved right now that you understand real estate. I have an understanding that I got to make sure I got my top 5 and why I need to talk to all of y'all. So I was listening to Jack Ma last night. He said, repair the roof while the sun is shining. Repair the roof while the sun is shining. When it rains,
that's what I just said. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, are you taking care of business when everything is cool before it gets to be chaotic? And I think that you gave us some good fundamentals today, you know what I'm saying? Enough for people to be like, yo, she's moving with integrity. And these are the type of people that I want to have on my show when they come on, is making sure they can break it down from high level to eye level, and they're operating in integrity. I don't need any vultures on my show, you know what I mean? And I need somebody who's true to this, not new to this. So I ain't got time for rookies unless I'm having a show about rookie mistakes, which you probably could talk about that too. but I need a veteran to talk about rookie mistakes. I don't want no rookie to talk about rookie mistakes. So just like in the astrology game, you know, when we're looking at the fourth house, that's the house of real estate. That's the house of your personal history, your emotions, your feelings, and your own magical abilities. And so when we identify that, hey, here's a lane that you should put all your attention in, then we can become more profitable and stay happy. You know what I'm saying? I only want
Right.
to have people on my show who are happy doing, loving what they doing. And so definitely you qualify. And I definitely appreciate you coming on for the audience today, my audience, your audience, for people who are listening right now, people who are listening down the road. They're gonna be like, yo, I think I understand real estate right now. So let people know where they can follow you, shamelessly plug yourself, where you're going to be at, where's your office at in LA, if you want to give out a number, however you want to drop it for people to stay in contact and follow the LA Super Agent movement.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you for bringing me on. It's been amazing, to say the least. I have to come up with a better word now because, oh, it's just been very powerful. So, social media, we'll do social media first. So, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at LA Super Agent on all social media. You can also get connected, and I must share this since we're talking about uh, the listening audience, and I mentioned my show. So, for people who are listening, I do have a show called Ready, Set, Real Estate. And that's the raw, the uncut, the real, the flips, the flops, the booms, and the busts of all aspects of real estate. And we also bring special millennial features. And that show is a platform to support our nonprofit, our favorite nonprofit, Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. Again, we're teaching the
Yay!
next to fix the
First
now.
ever, the first ever in California, the first ever. Yes.
Yes. California and the country, coach. You know nobody's actually is not the way we're doing it. So the larger vision is to be the Boys and Girls Club of the real estate industry, hands down. I have declared that,
Mm.
and that is the larger picture because the industry actually does not have a youth or young adult organization where they're actually teaching and grooming the next for the industry. And currently, the industry actually has an average age of 62, and if you're Black, it's 57. So, who we passing the torch to? That's something we need to identify and we need to rectify. So that's what
Man.
our greater mission is. But ReadySetRealEstate.tv, and you can catch the podcast, the archives, the replay on the podcast. We are available everywhere on the iTunes, on Apple. You can now ask Siri to play podcast Ready Set Real Estate. It'll come up. That's been completely exciting. We've just been added to the Stitcher family. So we are now on Stitcher platform, which gives us access to 4 million car dashboards across the country. So that's also exciting. I like to say now, really roll with you. And
Absolutely. Right.
if you visit any of the websites, it'll actually link you to learn more about our nonprofit. So get in where you fit in. There's definitely an opportunity to learn, grow, and build. My favorite motto is to connect, build, share at LA Super Agent. And I invite you to be a part of the movement. And albeit sharing, donating, buying merchandise, buying a book, or bringing me out to your organization, and just building with me. I will update, or I should say, we'll update the website because now we've completed the Atlanta Generational Wealth Building Conference, a success. We have touched some lives, we have planted some seeds, and that was amazing. And so, in about 2.5 weeks, I have been booked for the San Diego NARAB conference that is happening April 21st in San Diego. I will be also teaching our signature real estate workshop component out there. And NARAB, by the way, now I should say NAREB. That way I don't confuse the listening audience. So NAREB stands for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And we are in the 50th anniversary of the 1968 Fair Housing Act. What does that mean? This was an organization that was created because Black real estate professionals could not be part of the larger real estate industry organization. And so they have spun off and created their own. And as there continues to be a movement for increasing Black home ownership, this is one of those events that's going to be phenomenal, bring awareness. But the stark reality, Coach, and for our listening audience, is that Black home ownership has remained stagnant for the last 50 years. And so when I see people think that it's about credit repair, let's try again. We got to dig deeper and beyond the surface. It goes deeper than credit repair.
Word up. Well, just like me, Lisa's passionate about her purpose and helping people moving from eye level to high level. We're breaking it down so then you can take it right back up. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to thank Lisa for sharing all of her knowledge and experience today. We want to thank everybody who tuned in to Zoom in for listening to Coach Khayr. You know you are always rocking with the best. Definitely want to let you know that you can tune in right here, wherever you're listening to this at, whether it's Stitcher, whether it's Anchor, whether it's on Siri, whether it's on Blog Talk Radio, Facebook Lives, whatever, you can still catch your boy. We stepping our game up. And since you are your most valuable asset, you are your most valuable network, you are your first government, that's why we're doing this thing just like this. Because in the end of the day, it's about living free. It's about living free and not having a whole bunch of hassles and trials and tribulations. Like we already had trials and tribulations coming up. So let's go ahead and start getting to the sweet fruit, not the bitter roots. So it's Coach Khayr is in the building. We really thank y'all so much for listening in. And just like any other time, I'm going to leave you just like I found you in peace and take this thing out in prayer. Anabakoa, Kijalaki Menka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagbanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagibor, the Shea Yakadeka, Kababa Shaman, Barkum Tarum Rakame, Tazika Taka, Tamid Gamlin, Kasin Kadosh, Baru Tufka, Nahelata Taka, Yakid Gahel, Amchapanez, Okre, Katushka Taka, Shavata Nukabel, Ushma, Tazakatanu, Yodea Talamu, Baruk Shem, Kovo Makuto, Lalam Vaed. And if you got anybody who you think that needs to be I need to put on the map because I'll make you famous, just shoot me an email over at CoachKhayr@gmail.com, or you can DM me on all the platforms that I'm on. All right? We're going to holler at y'all, man. Thank you so much, LA Super Agent, ReadyStatRealEstate.tv, and just type it in, man. She got it on lock. Just Google that, and you'll be able to get in contact with Lisa. And definitely if you Google Coach Khayr, you'll be able to catch up with your boy. I'm going to holler at y'all. Until the next time, peace.
Peace.